I never take for granted what we do, because what we do is a very, very special thing. It's somewhat of a cliche that, buying a house is the American dream. And man, like, I genuinely believe that. Like, that's what I believe. I remember when I bought my first home, or my parents did as a child. I was like 11, and I remember how I felt. I remember the excitement, and I remember all of the memories that we shared in that house until I became a young man. And I still drive by that house to this day, and just so many memories. So, like, when someone buys a house, guys, like, don't ever forget, it's where life happens. It's where memories are made. It's where children are raised, and it's important what we do. And so I never take that for granted. The American dream is still alive for a lot of people. They're out there, and we have the privilege to help people all across the country make that a reality. So, so I want to talk with you today about confidence of a champion, right? And, a lot of times in this business, or in any business for that matter, like, we lack the confidence that we need to becoming who we were created to be, in letting go of the stories and the lies of the past that keep us from doing the things that we want to do. And I made some notes here. So if you see me looking down, I made some notes, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I'm able to really share with you guys what's on my heart today. So what I was really wanting to focus on today, this morning, we're not going to be too long today, is the list your I can'ts, right? Like, I can't do this and I can't do that. And, like, let's demolish those, right? Because there's so many things that we do that keep us from achieving our goals, right? Because we have these limiting self-beliefs and this doubt and these things going on in our head that simply aren't true. And it reminds me of Les Brown. I had read a quote from Les Brown some years ago, and he said, if someone else has done it, it's possible, and I can do it too. And I thought, wow. And that actually brings up another memory. Is like, I remember when the 4-minute mile was like impossible. They said you can't run a mile in less than 4 minutes. And no one had ever done it until it had been done. And then you had several people to this day start running 4-minute miles. And even today, they're running less than 4-minute miles in college. So something that was impossible became possible, and then everyone else started doing it. And so, it's just, we start making these excuses to ourselves that we can't do things. And that's what they are, is excuses. It's perceived weakness. And, we just say we can't do things. And we have these stories, these beliefs of maybe our past. I know that when I was a kid growing up, and I'm kind of pulling back the curtain into my personal life, my mom would tell me sometimes, Kenneth, you're stupid. And I'd be like, man, maybe I am stupid, and she'd say, it's okay to make mistakes as long as you don't make the same mistake twice. But when you make the same mistake twice, you're stupid. And of course, she's recognized that error, now today, and she's apologized many years ago. But I remember when I was a young man, I used to say, Mom, you made me this way. Like you put doubt in my head because you told me I was stupid all the time. When I was growing up, you would tell me I was stupid. You remember that? You remember telling me I was stupid? I'm sorry, And so we have these beliefs, and we all have them from our childhood. We've got something has got put in our head about ourselves that just isn't true, right? Or it's our worldview. It's our truth about what we believe about ourselves. And I want to help you guys kind of get past that today. But here's and I'll give you guys some typical I can'ts that I've had people share with me over the years, that I may have had in some regard over the years, and be able to take those things and eliminate them out of your head so that you are more successful, right, in your business. And so one of the ones I wrote down is I'm too old, right? Like, I'm too old. Like, some of you may be at a point where, man, I'm just too old and I'm just not going to be able to get caught up. I'm just too old and I can't do it. Well, say that to the 72-year-old woman from Japan who climbed Mount Everest. That's what I would say to that. I've had others say I'm too young. Okay. Like I've had loan officers come to me and say, man, I'm just so young in this business and I don't really know very many people and I'm just too young and I don't really relate to people. Well, say that to the 12-year-old kid from Toronto who opened up 450 schools, and it was a organization called Free the Children because he was so upset and touched by all of the kids in Asia who were working at these camps. Where it was child labor, right? And it was like Free the Children, right? Say that to him who was 12 years old. And there were kids that were murdered, same age as him. He had actually read a story of another 12-year-old kid in Asia who stood up against this and he got assassinated. He was so moved by it that he did something about it. So you're never too young. You're never, ever, ever too young. Matter of fact, that kid ended up, he was on Oprah. He was on 60 Minutes. He's been a world famous sensation of young people who have done just amazing things. Some of you might say, well, I'm too short, right? Like I'm too short. Well, so was Tom Cruise. I think he was like 5'6". Martin Luther King did great things. He was 5'7". Ryan Seacrest, 5'7". Joe Pesci, 5'5". Elton John, 5'4". Michael J. Fox, 5'4". Prince, 5'3". Dudley Moore was at 5'2", and height never stopped them from becoming wildly successful. How about I'm bald, right? A lot of people have this like intimidation about being bald, and like they just, what are they going to think about me? Bruce Willis was bald. Sean Connery was bald, very successful. Kellen Vaughn, no, I'm just kidding. Kellen, I'm just kidding. Highly successful people. All right, I had to put that out there. A little poke at Sean. I mean, at Kellen. How about this one? I speak poorly, right? Like I speak poorly. Like, how do you think I feel, right? Like sometimes when I go places, they're like, dude, where are you from? And I'm just like, hey, man, this is how I talk, right? I'm not the most polished. I'm not the most well articulated, and I'm certainly not the best speaker on the planet, but I am real about who I am as much as I can be, and this is who I am. But some people say I speak poorly. Well, so did James Earl Jones. I thought this was an interesting story, and I did some research on James Earl Jones, and he was also the voice in Darth Vader for Star Wars, but he didn't speak for 8 years. He had a really, really bad stutter, and they actually diagnosed him as a mute because he was a poor speaker. And he had a really amazing teacher who inspired him and actually forced him to recite poetry every single day in class to get over that fear of speaking, and encouraged him to overcome his stutter, in which he did. So I thought that was a pretty amazing example and story. Wanted to share it with you guys today. Some of you guys might say, well, I'm not educated enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I don't know enough. Well, let me tell you something. President Andrew Johnson received no formal education whatsoever, and he actually worked in a tailor's shop where he was an apprentice. And these customers would come in, and they would have people read these great books in the shop while they were working. And they would lend these books to him. And he self-educated himself. Guys, he self-educated himself and became the most powerful man in the United States. Right? So like, not an excuse. I've got a disease. So does Michael J. Fox. He wrote an amazing book in 2009. It was a bestseller. It says Always Looking Up. He's also continuing to act. He works. He raises money for the Parkinson's Disease Foundation. And just a huge inspiration. Never stopped him, right? So like, it's not an excuse. I'm paralyzed. So is Rick Hansen, right? He's done so many things in his life over the last couple of years. This is a good one. My father was in jail. So was mine. Like, not kidding. My biological father was in jail for most of my childhood, all the way up until I was about 16. I don't share that with a lot of people. It's a very personal thing for me. I grew up in a broken home. I grew up extremely poor. And, my past is what drives me to, and the passion that I have to be successful today, not just in the mortgage business, but in other businesses as well that I have. And I just never stopping, right? I just keep on going. I don't let these types of excuses. It doesn't mean that I don't have stories, because I have stories too, but I have to combat these stories and I have to focus on what I can do. And that's the mindset that I want you guys to really resonate with today. And really ask yourself, what are the things that are keeping me from being the best version of myself, and to really breaking threshold and doing things in my business and in my life and in my relationships and in my spirituality that I'm not doing because I'm making excuses for it, right? So my father was in jail. So this was it was an Olympian, Hope Solo, is a women's soccer team goalkeeper. And she, her father was in jail for embezzlement. And she actually would go and visit with him. And, she grew up with her father, who was a criminal and succeeded despite her roots, right? And there's a lot of people that succeed in life whose mothers or fathers are in jail. And so, use other people's success and examples. One of the, I'm not educated. Well, I had a whole list of them. It was like Walt Disney. He was in the Marine Corps, got discharged, I think dishonorably, never went to college. And look how successful he was. As I can go on, like there's so many lists. Like, look for other people's successes as examples to build your confidence. Not to be discouraged, right? Quit telling your stories about the things that you can't do, and really identify with them. Like, don't hide from them, because sometimes I feel like we just try to put them away in our minds and that they're not there, but they're there, right? So like, write them down and like have an honest conversation with yourself about the things that you feel like you can't do, and write them down and be honest about it. Get real with yourself about where you're at in your mind for the things that are keeping you from reaching your best potential. I don't care. I know a couple of you that personally had conversations with me that want to lose weight. And you have these excuses and these stories in your business about in your life about why you can't lose weight. They're excuses. You don't want to lose weight because the pain's not great enough for you to do something different. Sometimes the pain has to be so great that you actually move to do something that you want or say that you want. You ever see people that are grossly overweight and all of a sudden they lose 400 pounds and the pain got so great for them that they finally had to decide, I've got to do something different. And so how do you focus on what you can do, right? And like, we're not talking about solving world hunger here. Like if you want to, like, you may say, hey, I want to, because this is the reality. Like when we do really good things in our lives, it gives us this confidence in this ability to feel powerful. And it's just a lot of little things. It's like returning the shopping cart. When you push the shopping cart, this is one of my irritations. When you push the shopping cart to your vehicle and you unload your groceries, take this shopping cart and put it back in the store or put it in the bin. Like, it's just such a lazy thing not to do that, right? So next time you are pushing a shopping cart, you're going to think of me. but it's celebrating the good that we can do to give us this strong sense of accomplishment and confidence. Something else may be you might have a goal to feed the hunger. Well, just go to your local soup kitchen and start there, right? Like we don't have to do, like sometimes we believe that we have to do these really grand and big things to have the confidence to be able to do even more things. And I'm telling you to do what you can where you are with what you got. I want you to write that down. Do what you can where you are with what you've got. That means that you muster up all of the confidence that you have, all of the things that you're really good at, right? Your talents, your gifts, your abilities, your passion, and like start there, right? Because it's not something for us to do this to find this confidence. It's just you just don't sit here in this chair and be like, okay, I'm gonna be confident today, right? It's almost like we have to have these little bitty wins to get us to that place. And I know for me in my life, in my business, man, I have like moments of like, dude, I can freaking do anything. And then I have moments where I'm like, dang, dude, I'm so far behind. Like, how am I going to catch that person? How am I going to do that? Man, that seems so far away. And what I would say about that is it's like we can't ever compare ourselves to other people. And a lot of times we do that. We will compare ourselves to other people. And then that's our new like starting point. And like I'm just telling you, like don't start where someone else is, because we don't know what they've been through or the process that they've gone through to get to where they're at. But there are just embrace the wins that you have. It's in the little details, guys, that we do every single day. It's opening up the door for someone. It's helping people. It's putting our shopping cart back, right? Find the things in life that it's going to the gym. It's waking up when the alarm goes off and getting your butt out of bed and not laying there for another 30 minutes, right? It's these little things in our life that will change the confidence level that we have in ourselves, right? And I'm just a firm believer that when we identify the things that we can't do, and then go talk to people, like find someone that you can have a conversation with and share the things that you wrote down. Say, hey man, these are 5 things that I feel I can't do, and demolish those things. Figure out a way that you can do it. Find the confidence in the little things in life to help build to a level of demolishing that stuff, guys. I'm telling you, this is how I do it. I start small, I get my confidence up, and sometimes I have to hit the reset button, because there are days that I'm like, and I'm just being transparent about, like, man, I remember like last week or the week before, I was just like, man, I could do anything. And then I had a couple of like things happen in my business and in my life that just kind of like took the wind out of my sails. Well, shit, man, I got to get the wind in my sails back. And it's just getting back to the small things. I hope this resonates with someone, because I feel like that the mind is, our brain is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever, right? It's always on. And sometimes we just, sometimes I just feel like that we are not at our full potential because of the stories that we keep, that we hold on to. And I'm just a firm believer that we can do anything that we want to do. Like, I believe that. Like, you want to do it, someone else has done it, let's do it. Even if they haven't done it, it can still be done. So I just hope that this resonates with someone today. that you will find it within yourselves to demolish the I can'ts and really start looking at what they are and being real about it, demolishing them, and finding the little things to help you start winning, right? To build that confidence back up and to have the things in your business that you want, to have the things in your relationships that you want, have the things in your business that you want in your, you know, um, just go get it. Like, you got to go get it, right? No one's going to help us get it, right? No one's going to control us getting what we want. So I encourage you guys to go get it. All right. Write the list down and feel free to share with me. Like, shoot me a text, Facebook message, let me know where you're at with that. And it may take a little bit of time to get clear on that and to start feeling that level of confidence that we all want, so that we can become who we're created to be by letting go of the past and the lies and the stories. Didn't mean to get too philosophical on you. Just something I'm passionate about, and something that I think that we should probably spend more time talking about. So you guys make it a great day. Make it a great week. Go kill it. We'll see you soon.